on and on and on. But I think, Allah, if your heart and your iman is in the right place, and you love Allah and His Messenger, sallallahu alayhi wasallam, and you want to implement this upon the fahm of the Salaf, you will not tolerate anybody working with the likes of this Rahman, Abdul Khaliq. Wallahu ta'ala.
In the book, there is an article by Shaykh Abdul from Kuwait on a few of the errors of the Khaliq in the book. And also, the noble Shaykh Rabi bin Hadi did a refutation of Abdul Khaliq about 2 years ago. The book was published, and he brought his mistakes and refuted them. And the introduction to that book was done by the Shaykh Talha bin Al-Fawzan, and that introduction we translated it and also put in the book. Okay, the next question.
I was in Jeddah and I visited a sheikh, one of the big sheikhs, although he's not well known by us miskin people, Sheikh Muhammad al-Banna. Now Muhammad al-Banna, he doesn't write any books. He says, I'm not going to write any books because the ulama before me have written books, so why should I write books? But he's an alim. Recently some people asked Halim Asli, what do you say about Muhammad al-Banna? He said, you asking me about Muhammad al-Banna, rather you should ask Muhammad al-Banna about me. And also Albani, when he gathered some of the ulama in Jordan recently, one of the first people that he called was Muhammad al-Banna. Muhammad al-Banna for years and years and years is a very, very close friend of Shaykh al-Albani. He was also one of the teachers of Rahman Abdul Khaliq. He was also one of the teachers of our Mufti here. I asked him the question and he said, well, I can't say that Abdul Khaliq was a Mufti. I think it was a bit too much for him to say that. But he said, I know. I spoke with him. I went and I spoke with him personally. And this statement I repeated, but I don't know if he could have come straight from Abdur. He said, I believe that Abdul Rahman al-Khaliq became jealous of the ulama. The same statement that Sheikh Muqbil made. He said, I believe that Abdul Rahman al-Khaliq became jealous of the ulama. And here he said, after speaking to him, I made hijrah from him. This is Muhammad al-Banna, and there is a brother sitting over there. I gave him Muhammad al-Banna's number, and he himself phoned Muhammad al-Banna, and Muhammad al-Banna repeated the same thing to him about Rahman al-Khaliq, that he made hijrah from him. So, just to make sure, and if anybody else wants the number, and we say to the Mufti, you claim to be with the ulama. Why don't you ask the ulama about Rahman al-Khaliq? You say Rahman al-Khaliq is a Salafi, a good Salafi. What does your scholar say? What does your Shaykh say and bin Baz? Why don't you ask him bin Baz this question? Why don't you ask Usaymin this question? The Prophet is quoting from Usaymin. Usaymin says that Rahman al-Khaliq is a kazdab, is a liar. So why don't you ask them, instead of asking these questions about this halal and haram playing games, why don't you ask them, what do you say about Abdul Khaliq? And then you will see. Because these are people not following the ulama. So when we speak about Rahman al-Khaliq, I'm not qualified, but I just tell you what the ulama say. And if you want to check the statement, I will give you the number of Muhammad al-Banna, and you can phone him yourself, inshallah ta'ala.
To the point again, there's many questions on the issue of Muntasir. And the brother asked, what is the definition of a rule?
Mufti, I don't know who he refers.
I don't know who he refers, but he said Abdurrahman Khalaq is good Salafi. I take that statement and say he's a good Salafi. And there is two big differences. Do you know what the difference between, in Arabic language, Salafi and Salafi, they are two different things. قال الله جل وعلا قال فخلف من بعدهم خلف أضاعوا الصلاة واتبعوا الشهوات فسوف يلقون غيا. As خلف من بعدهم خلف قال العلماء الخلف هو ضد سلف وليس ضد السلف. السلف بالإسكان معناتها طالح. That is good طالح. He's good bad man. That's what the meaning of that Muslim. It's not good Salafi, it means good Salafi with the iskan, with sukun, not with the fatha. Because Salaf is with the fatha. This is why maybe he referred to that. Muhammad Surur, as you know, most of you maybe heard only his name, and some brothers they support him, I don't know. And if I ask them, why do you support him? I can swear by Allah Jalla wa Ala that you don't know nothing about him. Even if I ask him what is his full name, you don't know where is he from originally, you will tell me all from Dimashq. But if I tell you originally he's from Iraq, as far as I know, I've asked all these deep followers, he's from Iraq and then he immigrated to Dimashq and then this. This man, Shaykh al-Albani Habibullah Ta'ala, 20 years, 30 years ago, he said, this man, I used to know him, Ikhwani, that's number one. Secondly, he said, after he passed another stage, trying to be together two things, between Salafi and Ikhwani. What do you mean by this? Is that we are Salafi in Aqidah. We say Allah is above the Arsh. Allah has good hands, Allah is one, this. And then they call it Asriyat al-Muwajaha, that we affront from this area. We have to change, we have to use this word. This Muhammad Surur is a photocopy of Al-Ikhwan Al-Muflisin. This is what Shaykh Muqbil meant. This Na'as, not Ikhwan Muflisun, Ikhwan Muflisin. They are the brothers of the Muflisin. This is what Shaykh Muqbil Hafizah Ta'ala gives them this time. This is a photocopy, don't get fooled by him. He's Ikhwan who try to believe in the Aqidah of the Salaf. These people, we don't say they got Aqidah Salafiyah, we say they agree in some point with the Salaf radiallahu ta'ala. By saying Allah is above the Arsh, Allah has good hands, and this and that. That doesn't make him Salafi. Tell him, come, Aqidah Tahawiyah, 134 or 140 points. What did he say? We believe in Allah is one. We believe Allah is above the Arsh. We believe Allah has got two hands. This. And we believe what? That our Mudas, they are not, we don't make a Muslim kafir with the sin he committed unless he make it halal. And we see the jihad and the hajj and the jumu'ah and jama'at with our leaders, and we don't see the safe against them, and we don't make it clear. Thank him, Muhammad Surur, why did you take this statement out? The man who says the books of Aqidah, they are all dry, and this is why most of the youth keep away from it because of that. And what do you know what Shaykh bin Baz said? You don't know what Shaykh bin Baz said? Shaykh bin Baz said, this is هذه ردة على الإسلام. Apostate is not making him kafir, but he said this statement is the ridda, is worse than Ahl Kitab. Because a person who becomes murtad in Islam, يقتل كفرا, and then he doesn't get to any, if he becomes murtad, he doesn't get to any married to any Muslim. He cannot take any Murad. You can't take inheritance from him or give him inheritance. He cannot be buried in the Muslim graveyard. All this. Shaykh bin Baz said, هذه ردة على الإسلام. This statement is apostate from Islam. Why? Because he said the Aqidah. What is Aqidah? Shaykh bin Baz said, Aqidah is the Quran, the Sunnah, and what the Salaf radiallahu ta'ala anhu ajma' alayh. What's the ijma' of the Salaf radiallahu? Muhammad Surur, he was in Dimashq. He thrown out, went to Saudi. In Saudi, he was teacher of history. By the way, he's not an alim. He's not even in the field of ilm. He's in history. You know those people that find philosophy. He's a historian. Even if his son had done PhD in history, Bashir. And then he was teaching there. He was one of the most beloved persons after Muhammad Khatib to Saf al-Hawali and Salman al-Uda. Don't forget that. And then after he made takfir of Malik Fahd, and he said, and then he went where? Subhanallah. Ibn Taymiyyah, where did he go? You know Ibn Taymiyyah went to prison. You know that, everybody knows Ibn Taymiyyah went to prison. They use look, he went to prison. No of your ulama went to prison. Ibn Baz didn't go to prison. Ibn Uthaymeen didn't go to prison. Albani didn't go to prison. Indeed, Albani went to prison, because they don't know that. But Ibn Taymiyyah, where did he go to prison for what? for saying the king of that time is a kafir, or for saying من أشد الرحال إلى قبر الخليل. Do not travel to the grave of Khalil, Ibrahim alayhi salam, to do any ibadah there. Then he was put in prison. Out. He say, Allah has got hands, Allah is above the arsh, Allah has got face, Allah this. Prison. He said the divorce in Islam is 3 in 1 is counted as 1. The Sunnah says so, this. Put in prison. Wallahi, Ibn Taymiyyah didn't go to prison for one political matter. One political matter. And I challenge you, go and check all his books. And I refer you, go and read his fatawa, go and read his siyasa al-shar'iyya, fi islahi ra'i wa ra'iyya, go and read his rasail min al-sijil. That one of the sururis, he tried to be clever, and he collected this, but he couldn't. He tried to twist one of the meanings, and alhamdulillah, the Salafis caught him. And I made a note on that. I said, don't try to fool the Muslim, because he will not fool Salafi. Wallah, he couldn't comment one comment about Ibn Taymiyyah going about political matter to prison. Ibn Taymiyyah went about Aqidah, he went about Sunnah, he went about that, and he died in prison because of the Sunnah. Muhammad Surur, brothers, he is the photocopy of Ikhwan. He is not Salafi. Don't get fooled by the Muta. They see them clothes above the ankle or beard or praying like you, that. It's not the sign. It's not the sign. It's not the sign that the person is on the right. When he said, you know what he said about your ulama? Who loves the ulama? Raise the hand. I love the ulama. Those who don't love the ulama, they left their hands out. That's all right. You know what he said? They are the slave of the slave of the slave of the American. He said, you know what he used to say about Abdurrahman Khalaq? This man is a fitna maker. Recently he said, our beloved Shaykh Abdurrahman Abdul Khalaq in his tape as-Salafiyya bayn al-Wulat wa al-Ghulat in Birmingham. Our beloved great Alim Shaykh Abdurrahman Abdul Khalaq, that Abdullah Step and that Rabi al-Madkhali, he insulted Shaykh Rabi Hafidahullah Ta'ala. It is this, they just know to criticize. He's him who preached the Dawah Salafiyya in Kuwait. It's him who done this. Oh, very strange, Muhammad Surur. Recent, just few years ago, you used to say this man is a criminal. MashaAllah, what did you get? A lawyer, good lawyer for him, and then God said he's proved no guilty. And then he takes him out. And he gives him our great Alim Salafi, the only Salafi, he said, the only Salafi alone. Wallah, he said about Al-Albani, what did he say about Al-Albani? He criticized Al-Albani badly. Insulted Shaykh ibn Uthaymeen. It's him the cause of the fitna of Algeria. It's him the fitna of in Egypt. It's him the fitna when he's starting soon in Morocco, you will see it. It's him the fitna of in Libya, you will see it soon. It's him the fitna in every Muslim land. Wallahi, this is what the Salaf said. People of Bid'ah, when they enter any village, any places, they destroy it. Sheikh Abdul Salam says is good. This is very nice day. Usul Dawah Salafiyya. Wallahi, I was listening to it day and after day. Wallahi, it's beautiful. Inshallah, I give you a copy. We'll let Abu Talha to translate it. Wallahi, listen to it. If you cannot have access to the book, you know what these people, what these criminals, they are mujrimeen, they are qutta' turuq. Ibn Taymiyyah called them qutta' turuq. These people, they are thieves, they are aggressors on the street. You know the people who tax, people who rob this, give me your money, man, this. These people, they are not thieves of money, they are thieves of religion. They are worse. Wallahi, take my money here, take my car. But the Nasr is good 500 asal. Take it. Tell him, which prefer? We take your car or we take your Dawah Salafiyya? What will you say? Ask him. Any one of you has got a bank account, 10,000 pounds. I take you 10,000 pounds or I take you out and from the Dawah Salafiyya and your end will be the hellfire. Which one will you prefer? These people, Ibn Taymiyyah and the ulama and the Salaf call them Qutta' in the religion. Thieves in the religion. Not in the money, in the religion. This is what Muhammad Surur, and he will go on and on and on. We don't have time to detail everything. This man, the general description of him, Ikhwani, Takfiri, you will not believe that, Takfiri, Wallahi, he supports all the idea of Sayyid Qutb, he supports all the idea of Muhammad Qutb, he supports all the idea of Salaf al-Hawali and Salman Uda. These two, anyone who can get in touch with them, tell them that Brother Murad said to you, wait in the day of judgment when you meet your Lord Allah Jalla wa Ala. Wait. May Allah give a long life to Sheikh Muqbil. He said it. He sent them advice. He told them to repent to Allah. He told them this. But in the end, he couldn't. He said, these people, they are after money and fame. After money and fame. Wallahi, go and tell them, Ibn Taymiyyah, did he go to prison because of Aqidah or because of political? Did Yusuf alayhi salatu wasalam, the Nabi of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, when he went to prison for what? They say, رَبِّ السِّجْنُ أَحَبُّ إِلَيَّ مِمَّا يَدْعُونَنِي إِلَيْهِ. Was it the sin? Was it the king? Was it the political? Or because of this? What? You must be aware of Muhammad. Keep away from him. This is my advice. Keep away from him. If you want more details, the Sheikh Muqbil, alhamdulillah, he made a lot of tapes about him, and Sheikh Rabi' and the Sheikh Muhammad al-Madkhali and Sheikh Abdul, I think he done as well, and Sheikh Abdul. What's his name? The other one. He's well famous in Saudi. Shimri. Yes. MashaAllah, he's got some 2-3 nice tapes about him. Well described.
After the English language, I remember last summer, the Shaykh Ali Halabi did a whole session entitled The Characteristics of Muhammad Surur. And this tape is available in English. Alhamdulillah, and it's available far as alone in Masjid Ibn Taymiyyah in Brixton. The next question, all those people you have refuted and clarified about, they will undoubtedly claim that this is ghibah. Please respond.
So they say this is a ghiba. Some notes from Dawood, inshallah. He says, first of all, this is not ghiba, because it doesn't fall under the... First of all, it's an exception to ghiba anyway, as one of the categories of exception. And also, first, before I go into that this is in fact not backbiting, nor is it slander, nor is it anything other than that. Because slander is something which is untruthful. Backbiting is something which is truthful. But with regard to this issue here, then this is nasiha. Just like the nasiha that Imam Ahmad gave you when he wrote Rad al-Jahmiyyah. Same nasiha. The same nasiha that Imam al-Darimi gave you when he wrote Rad al-Bishr Marisi. Same nasiha. Anyone turn to them and say that this is backbiting, this is ghiba, this is slander? So Imam Ahmad was backbiting, Jahm bin Safwan. And Imam al-Darimi was backbiting Bishr Marisi. And Shaykh al-Islam Ibn Taymiyyah was backbiting Ibn Sina and Al-Farabi. Is this correct? And Shaykh Muhammad Nasiruddin al-Albani, Hafidhullah, is backbiting Rahman the Khaliq when he said that he's a Ikhwani. And when Shaykh Abdul Aziz Ibn Baz, Hafidhullah, refuted Rahman of the Khaliq for his slander upon the great Imam Muhammad Amin Shankiti, the Mufassir of this Ummah, when Rahman of the Khaliq said that he was the most ignorant amongst the ignorant of people. And Ibn Baz corrected him and he spoke out against him. So Ibn Baz was backbiting Rahman of the Khaliq. Is this correct? When Shaykh Al-Albani, Hafidhullah, spoke against Ramadan Bhuti, he was backbiting Ramadan Bhuti, the big Sufi. When Shaykh Al-Albani refuted Abdur Rahim Tahan, he was backbiting Abdur Rahim Tahan, the Muqtadi. So when Shaykh Muhammad Salih ibn Uthaymeen refuted Ali Sabuni, not Imam Sabuni from the Salaf, Ali Sabuni from Emirates, or Kuwait, Makkah, Misri. when Ibn Taymiyyah refuted him, is that backbiting? How can this be backbiting? This is nasiha. Because this is one of the exceptions of nasiha, that you warn against the people of bid'ah. That you warn against those who will, as Imam al-Nawawi, when he gives his exceptions, in his Riyadh al-Salihin, if you go to the chapter on ghiba, on backbiting, you will see the exceptions that he gives. This is one of the exceptions. Imam al-Shawkani, rahimahullah, when he wrote his exceptions to ghiba, and he wrote down a very concise exceptions to backbiting. One of the people that you are allowed to backbite are the innovators. One of the people that you are allowed to backbite are the innovators. So you can't come to me now say that the Prophet ﷺ was backbiting at Dajjal. It doesn't make sense. This is nasiha, deenun nasiha, that we advise the brothers and we advise the ummah against those people who are destructive to your religion. Nasiha first begins. Where does nasiha begin? To the individual. Have we given nasiha to all the individuals that we've mentioned today? Every single one of them has been given nasiha. Some of them have had books written against them. Shaykh Rabi ibn Hadi al-Madkhali, hafidhullah, he said, for 10 years I remained silent upon Abdurrahman of the Khaliq to preserve unity, because I was giving him the excuses. For 10 years I didn't speak. And when I was seeking nasiha from my colleagues and from the mashayikh, such as Muhammad al-Jami rahimahullah, that when I was seeking the nasiha, we came to a conclusion that we would remain silent. We would remain silent. Then after 10 years, and his evil became apparent, and his disease started spreading, and then no longer could we remain silent. I remember something that Shaykh Muhammad Hadi, when he was here last year, he told us that he had a discussion with one of the heads of Jam'iyyah Ihya Turath al-Islami. And they said, look, and the criticism of this head of Jam'iyyah Ihya Turath, he was saying to Muhammad Hadi, look at you people, you scholars of Medina, you know, we've known about the fitna of the Sururis since 1979, 80 and 81. We didn't say anything. We didn't say anything because we wanted to preserve things. So then, but you people in Medina, meaning Shaykh Rabi, Shaykh Muhammad Hadi, Shaykh Salih al-Suhaimi, and others, Muhammad al-Jami, and others, that when it came to you, you couldn't resist. You spoke out against them. Shaykh Muhammad Hadi said, yes, because you have betrayed the deen of Allah. You have betrayed Allah by defending the innovators. You have betrayed Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam and his risala by defending the innovators. And you have insulted that which the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam brought, and you have insulted and you have betrayed a dawah salafiyah, its usul and its manhaj. Because the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said that he who innovates or accommodates an innovator, then the curse of Allah, the curse of the angels, and the curse of the whole of mankind are upon him. And you, Jamia Ihya Turath, have been defending the Sururis for all of these years, and their evil became apparent when? Straight after the Gulf War. Then they decide, this is the time. The regimes are unstable. Let's speak against them. Let's rock the regimes. Let's plant a bomb in Dammam. Let's plant a bomb in Riyadh. Let's blow up the kingdom of Saudi Arabia. Let's blow up the only country that is the closest that we have to the Sunnah. The closest that we have. Not ideal, but it's the closest. Let's blow it up. Every place where these people have gone, you find that they've only caused more and more destruction. They went to Algeria. How long has the war been going on, Murad, with Algeria? No. How many years? 7 years. Or 5 to 7 years. The war, this fight in Algeria has been going on. One day, I just want to know one day when they brought any benefit. One day when a Muslim child wasn't killed, or a Muslim woman wasn't raped. Why? Because of this dawah. So when we speak out against them, and speak out against those who defend them, like Abu Muntasir, and Idris Palmer, and Ali Tamimi, and their likes, and Muhammad Surur, who is their father, when we speak out against the likes of them, it is as a nasiha to you. Because one day we don't want you sitting upon the battlefront in Algeria thinking, how the hell did I get here? How did I get here? At least this will be a hujjah against you. So on Yawm al-Qiyamah, Allah will not ask, Murad, why didn't you warn the people? These were your brothers. You knew, they didn't know. Why didn't you tell them? So that one day you don't find yourself sitting upon a bus in Palestine with dynamite around your body, thinking, shall I pull the cord or shall I not pull the cord? This is why this deen is nasiha, to protect you from that affair, so that you don't end up going fighting on the side of the Taliban, so that they can establish their Sufi dawah, and establish their land of shirk and Sufism, and making tawassul through the saints, so-called. This is why we are giving you this nasiha. It's not because we enjoy speaking against these people. You think Imam Ahmed had nothing better to do than to speak against Jahm bin Safwan and Ibn Kullab and Karabisi? You think Shaykh al-Islam had nothing better to do than to speak against the people of the Mu'tazila and the Jahmiya and the Ashaira and the Kullabiya and the Lafziya? You think Shaykh bin Baz and Albani and Ibn Taymiyyah have got nothing better to do than speak against these innovators? Please, this is a nasiha. If you don't know the definition of backbiting, go to the chapter on backbiting in Riyadh al-Salihin, and you'll see there, inshallah.
Indeed, if you were to go to any Islamic library, you will find that the biggest books are the books which talk about men and women. Sometimes they say this man is truthful, or this man is a liar, or this man has a weak memory. This is to do with the ilm al-rijal and the book of Jarh wa Ta'deel.
And just that also, at the least, if you have some doubt in your mind, which you shouldn't have after Abu Khadijah has made it very clear, the permissibility and sometimes the obligation of this type of backbiting, then for the mubtadi, the innovator, etc., then the Shawkani, he narrates that at the least, I'm saying these words, at the least, you can backbite, now Shawkani comes in, you can backbite the spreading of someone who spreads evil, corruption, to save the people from this evil and corruption. So if so-and-so is not a mubtadi, he's not been labelled by the ulama as a mubtadi just yet, but you know where he's spreading his evil. And how do you know this? From ulama. Then you can expose, with hikmah and wisdom, obviously weighing out the maslahah and seeing the situation. There's a hadith, inshallah, Murad will narrate when he finds it, inshallah.
One of the brothers asks about the label sururi. Is it permissible to use sururis, to use the label sururi? And he asks, how is it that some of the major scholars, they do not use this term? And please do not use Albani's tazkiyah of Rabi as an answer to this question. Hold on this sururi, have you used it?
No, but this is not for the Bilal.
Use it as here. Huh? Use it as here. Use it as here.
What did he say there?
He said, please do not call Albani's tazkiyah of Rabi as an answer to Rabi said so, isn't it?
Oh, he does it. Yeah. Please do not quote Albani tazkiyah.
Do it though. Why? Who are they saying
yes.
I'm not using the tazkiyah? SubhanAllah.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. The brother, he specified here in his answer, in his question, please do not quote Albani's tazkiyah of Rabi as an answer to this question. Brother, here, first of all, you are destroying one of the principles of Ahlul Sunnah wal Jama'ah. Imam Malik rahimahullah ta'ala said, I did not sit here until more or less than 1,000 alim witnesses that I am a alim. This is Imam Malik. If you don't want to mention this, then we never mention tazkiyah about Imam Malik, what this ulama. Imam Ahmad, what did he say about Bukhari? Bukhari, what did he say about these people? This is like Amr mentioned, why the jarh wa ta'dil is there? If it was not jarhun wa ta'dil, jarh is critic, and ta'dil, what is it? Is tazkiyah. Saying this man is good, narrator on the sunnah, this. You destroying one principles, whole principles of Ahl Sunnah Jama'ah, you destroying it. So don't mention. Then, now we agreed, two things that you don't agree with us, that Albani, Ibn Baz, Ibn Uthaymeen, they are our ulama, and that's it, solved, Jazakallah khair, we don't answer this question. Or you agree, they are the ulama, and then you agree as well that we have to take their tazkiyah on the others. Otherwise, we don't. If you agree with us, that Albani, Ibn Baz, Al-Uthaymeen, and the other ulama, they are our ulama and yours, then alhamdulillah, the tazkiyah of Shaykh Rabi', tazkiyah of Shaykh Albani, التزكية of Shaykh Al-Uthaymeen, التزكية of Shaykh Ibn Baz, التزكية of Shaykh Al-Muqbil, التزكية of Shaykh Al-Fuzan, التزكية of all the ulama, Shaykh Hamad Al-Ansari, التزكية of all the ulama on the Shaykh Rabi', Hafidahullah Ta'ala, is well known. This man is a man of Sunnah. Shaykh Rabi' is a man of Sunnah. Anyone who hate him, who criticize him, is a jahil. May Allah guide him, or he's a man of bid'ah. May Allah guide him, or destroy him and keep him away from the Muslim. That's it. Shaykh Rabi' is a man of Sunnah. Is well known, well praised by the ulama. Shaykh Al-Albani, you know Shaykh Al-Albani, he's mean in his tazkiyah. You know what mean? Doesn't give one penny out on tazkiyah. Like someone who's very mean. Albani, you mention me how many people he gave them tazkiyah. Mention. How many do you know that Albani gave a tazkiyah to anyone? Mention. Wallah, you will not mention more than 10 if you are very clever. Albani they think he's a silly man. He's going to give tazkiyah to that man. He said, I read all his books and I couldn't find one mistake in his manhaj or aqidah. One mistake. Imagine that. Subhanallah. Don't understand Albani. He's saying this man is ilah, is Lord. That's it. It doesn't matter. He's talking in general meanings and everything that they are according to the usul. The matter where they differ Ahl Sunnah Jama'ah is there is no problem. Which way he takes which opinion with evidence with sincerity, it will be accepted. I'm telling you, Albani is very mean to give tazkiyah. Why? Because he's very aware of what people do. They go, they get tazkiyah from the ulama, run away with it, fool everybody, and that's it. No, he is very, very aware, and he gives tazkiyah. One tazkiyah, he said long time ago, 2 or 3 years ago, anyone who criticizes Shaykh Muqbil and Shaykh Rabi', yes, if they are jahil, two categories, they are jahil or sahibu hawa. The jahil, may Allah guide him, we teach him, we told him about this man, inshallah he repent and come to haqq. If he's a sahibu hawa, we ask Allah to guide him or to break his back, means this killing him. Breaking the back means killing him. This is one of the Arabic language. After that, just recently, what did he say? He said, Shaykh Rabi' is the carrier of the flag of the critic and the references on this time. Anyone who goes against the doctor, this is how we call him, Dr. Shaykh Rabi', Dr. Rabi', he's mukhti, he's wrong, he said he's wrong. Then, you don't accept Shaykh Rabi', we test you. Imam Ahmad, in his time, the Salaf used to test people on people. Come here, what do you say? What is Barbahari? What did he say? إذا رأيت الرجل يطعنه في أحمد أو زايد مالك this Shafi'i فاعلم أنه صاحب بدعة. He used to test people. Come here. What do you say about the Quran? Alright, Sunnah. Okay. What do you say about Imam Ahmad? Ahl Sunnah wal Jama'ah. Imam Ahl Sunnah wal Jama'ah. Imam of Sunnah this. Alhamdulillah, you are Ahl Sunnah. Come here. Imam Ahmad this, Mujassim. Imam Ahmad this, Hashwi. Imam Ahmad this. You are a man of bid'ah. They used to test the people on the people of the Sunnah, because they are the carrier of the Sunnah. They test them. What do you say about Shaykh Rabi'? I'm testing you. What do you say about Shaykh Rabi'? Everybody answer his own answer. What do you say about Shaykh Rabi'? Do you say he's a alim? Do you say he's a man of Sunnah? Alhamdulillah, we accept from you and you are from among us. You say he's top, he's a government scholar, he's this, wallahi, two things. Your Jahal, may Allah guide you, we tell you, now we're telling you that Shaykh Rabi is not scholar of any government. Which government? Is he working for the Kuffar? Is he working for the M15? ولا the CID, ولا مش عارف the CIA, ولا FBI, ولا which government? Which government? When did you Shaykh Rabi'? Shaykh Abdul Burjas here, he said, one of our principles of the Da'wah Salafiyah, we don't rebel against the ruler, we don't criticize them when we don't, and we don't see that we enter their doors. From the hadith of Rasulullah, all Ahl Sunnah said, only two people, mutadallim or nasihun lahum. The one who gives them the advice, alhamdulillah, this is the work of the ulama, not of you and me, and the one who has got told, they've been done, this Shaykh Abdul Burjas. Shaykh Rabi', all of them. When did you see Shaykh Rabi' going to any government, report this and that? Where? Subhanallah, where? Are you ready to do mubahala with him? This is why I called them all. The jihadi in Manchester, they say Shaykh Rabi' is this. Let them come. All right, I'll pay the ticket for you. Wallahi al-adim, I'll phone Shaykh Rabi' for you. Shaykh Rabi', this man is coming. Please do mubahala. The Shaykh, because this is not joke. The Shaykh, they say, oh no, we can't. We are banned from Saudi. We are this. No. Go and make mubahala with him. On the phone. I said on the phone, make mubahala with him. Anyone who criticizes Shaykh Rabi', he is mubtadi' or jahil. This is what happened to your Abdurrahman Khalaq. This is what happened to him. This. Alhamdulillah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala revealed him and exposed him, and Shaykh Rabi' refuted him. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave the strength to Shaykh Rabi'. He wrote 3 pages, 4 pages. Shaykh Rabi' wrote like that, refuting him. An-Nasr al-Aziz. Abdurrahman Khalaq said, tell me, I don't want to go in detail. Tell me when the Salafi refuted the Christian. Tell me when this is. He's taken out himself out of the Dawah Salafi. He said, tell me when the Salafis.
What should be our attitude towards the people who have been mentioned, i.e. al-Islamini? Should we show everything they say? Suspicious about them?
Just as an addition to what my brother Murad was saying with regard to the term saruri, then it is, first of all, it is unfair for the question to say, and please don't mention the tazkiyah of Albani towards Shaykh Rabi'. That's like saying, don't mention the tazkiyah of Imam Ahmad of Yahya ibn Ma'in. Don't mention the ta'dil which Imam al-Zahabi gives towards the narrators of hadith. Don't mention the narrators which Imam al-Bukhari finds thiqah in his chains of narration. So how can you set a condition, please authenticate this hadith, but don't give us, please don't mention the narration, no authentic. So how are you supposed to authenticate the hadith? With kashf? Huh? Just sit there and the hadith can be authenticated by your own mind? How can you say, who else amongst the ulama have used the term saruri? And please don't mention Albani's tazkiyah for Shaykh Rabi'. You're knocking people out of the issue of ta'dil. You're knocking the tazkiyah of Shaykh Albani. Oh, Shaykh Albani's tazkiyah doesn't really count. Give us something else. Shaykh bin Baz's tazkiyah doesn't count. Give us something else. Shaykh Fawzan's tazkiyah doesn't count. Give us something else. One thing which Murad forgot to mention was the tazkiyah which Ibn Taymiyyah gave less than 6 months ago to Shaykh Rabi'. What did he say? He was in Unayza and he was delivering a lecture. At the end there was some question and answer. They said, Ya Shaykh, what do you say about Shaykh Rabi'? His name has become very apparent. What do you say about him? He said, you ask me about Shaykh Rabi'? You ask me like Imam Ahmad was asked about Yahya ibn Ma'in. And what did Imam Ahmad say? Don't ask me about the condition of Yahya ibn Ma'in. Go and ask Yahya ibn Ma'in about me. So I say to you, Ibn Taymiyyah's words, I say to you, don't ask me about Shaykh Rabi', ask Shaykh Rabi' about me. You're talking about tazkiyah. You want to knock out the tazkiyah of the ulama so that you can isolate Shaykh Rabi'. So you can isolate him and make him an open target. It doesn't matter, Imam Ahmad was alone as well. By Allah, Imam Ahmad was alone. If you go to Rasul Sunnah, and you will see that everyone left him. They either signed the agreement to say that the Quran was created, or they ran to the edges of the Islamic Empire, or they went to make jihad to get away from the fitna. Imam Ahmad said it was only me and my next door neighbor. In my place where I was living, it was just me and my next door neighbor who remained. And they took me and my next door neighbor, Muhammad ibn Nuh, and they took us upon a boat up the Euphrates. And on the journey he died, that only left me. So you think by isolating Shaykh Rabi' that that's going to change the haqq in any way, that's going to change the truth in any way? A person is upon the one whose manhaj he follows. If you follow the manhaj of Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, you are Ahlul Sunnah. If you follow the manhaj of Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam and his companions and those who came after them, you are Ahlul Sunnah, or you are Salafi. You follow the manhaj of Muhammad Ilyas, the founder of Jamaat al-Tabligh, you are Tablighi. You follow the manhaj of Sayyid Qutb, you are Qutubi. You follow the manhaj of Muhammad Surur, a replica of Sayyid Qutb in his manhaj, then you are Sururi. This is as simple as that. Shaykh Ubaid al-Jabri says that every single jama'ah that is around today, every single one of them is upon dalala. Every single one of them is upon dalala. And know that every single jama'ah is upon the religion or upon the manhaj of its founder. Jamaat al-Tabligh, Muhammad Ilyas. Ikhwan Muslimin, Hasan al-Banna. Al-Qutubiyya, Sayyid Qutb. Sururiyya, Muhammad Surur. This is what you are. You are upon what you are upon. Khawarij Dhul Khuwaysira. Shia Abdullah ibn Sabah. Which one? You are upon the ones that you chose. That's your founder. His manhaj is the one that you follow. So this term Sururi has been used by all the scholars of Medina. This term Sururi has been used by Sheikh Muqbil and the scholars of Kuwait, and has been used by the students of Al-Albani and the students of Bin Baz and the students of Ibn Taymiyyah. I heard with my own ears on a cassette Sheikh Al-Albani using this term, making mention of this term. But Shaykh Al-Albani, you think you got a problem with Sururiya, huh? Look what Shaykh Al-Albani says about Safar Hawali. You call him Sururi, Shaykh Al-Albani calls him the Khawarij of this era. Which one do you prefer? Take your pick.
Which tape? Which tape? Mention what? Mention what? Mention what? Hold on. We've got. Which tape? Which tape number? Okay. Hold on, Akhi, hold on, Akhi. Hold on. Maybe you are talking about a different tape than he's talking about. So, Akhi, hold on. All we can do now is you bring the tape, and because we've got two brothers here. Hold on, Akhi, hold on. Can you hear me? I said, maybe we are talking about two different tapes. It's possible? Okay, alhamdulillah. So before you say he never said it, what you should say to the brothers, well, I have a tape, that tape doesn't mention it, but the two brothers here, hold on, Akhil, wait. There's two brothers here. I said to you, you just agreed with me. Maybe we are talking about two different tapes. Maybe he doesn't mention it. It shows the ignorance of the people as regard the ulama. Because for sure, from the Kibar ulama is Shaykh Rabi. For sure. And I advise the brothers, if you're in doubt about this, phone Ibn Baz, phone Al-Albani, phone Sheikh Uthaymeen, Sheikh Al-Fawzan, and ask them, what is the level? We have somebody here claiming to be from the second tabaqat of the ulama, and you accept that with no problem. But you don't accept the statements of the ulama themselves. And when they talk about Sheikh Rabi is not some Johnny come lately. You might have just heard about him today. Sheikh Rabi is not just somebody just popped up out of nowhere. Don't you listen to your ulama? His aqidah is known to us. His manhaj is known to us. And he has istiqamah. And we pray to Allah that Allah make him firm and keep him refuting Ahlul Bidah. What more you want? What more do you want? Some joker in the pack, you quickly take him, you take what he has to say, but somebody who that you claim to be following the ulama themselves are giving praise of him, he ain't going looking for it and say, oh Sheikh, what do you say about me? He ain't play those kind of games. He's just doing what he has to do, and then the ulama are praising him for what he's doing. And you don't want to accept that? It seems strange. You sat down when this joker, this mufti, made a strange statement. I'm going to repeat it to you because I have the tape at home. He said that a person said to me, a brother said to me, a Salafi said to me, I will not accept anything from Sheikh Ibn Baz except that Sheikh Rabi said that. Supports it. I'm not going to argue with this statement because I don't know if it's true. But he didn't stop there. The mufti didn't stop there. He went on. And he said, so I said to this person, or we can say to this person, if Jibreel came down and said something, you would leave what Jibreel said if Sheikh Rabi didn't say what Jibreel, like Jibreel. Na'udhu billah min dhalik. What kind of jahil fool is going to make a statement like that? What fool is going to make a statement to equate Jibreel with Ibn Baz? There's no comparison. And it's not even a comparison between Jibreel and Ibn Baz. It's a comparison between Allah and Ibn Baz. Because Jibreel is not going to come down from the sky except that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sent him down. And Jibreel is not going to say, is that what he meant? But that's what it could imply. It can imply a statement of kufr to this brother, that this brother would accept the statement of a man instead of the statement of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And I don't understand how it is, after these people making this crazy, stupid statement, we can still hold these people up as ulama, as mufti, as alim. But when it comes to an alim, which Albani has said, I've read his book, I've not found no mistakes in it, what do you want? We don't want to hear the tazkiyah of Albani. Then go to hell. I won't even bother answering your question. Go to hell. That's where you're going to go. Because now you're trying to make distinction now between the ulama. You're trying to say, no, we take from this one. No, you can't do that. Because the ulama is a group. And if you find somebody refuting Sheikh Rabi, alhamdulillah tafaddal, we take that refutation. Find a refutation from Ibn Baz. Find a refutation from Albani. Find a refutation from Al-Fawzan. Find a refutation from Sheikh Muqbil. Find a refutation from Sheikh Uthaymeen, and we will take it. We'll listen to it. But you haven't got that. All you have about him is praise. And we're not saying, and I want to clarify a point, when the brother mentioned about planting bomb in Saudi Arabia, none of us are in the payroll of Saudi Arabia. None of us are in the payroll of that. But we know the problem that can come if this dawah spread. And this is why, again, I make another point, this is why we've taken on this to do this today. Because we have seen and we have conveyed the words of the ulama, because they have warned us. They warned us about Egypt. They warned us about Algeria. Even Albani made a very one. Last time Sheikh Salim was here, and I'll share it with you. When Sheikh Salim was here, he told us something which happened with Albani and with Algeria. The people came to Albani and said about this election business. Albani said to them, don't do it. They went back and they did it. So Sheikh Salim said, the night of the election, we heard the FIS had won. So we came to the Sheikh and said to the Sheikh, oh Sheikh, the FIS have won, our brothers have won. Albani said, no. All you're seeing at the moment is the soap suds. All you're seeing is soap suds. And they said the very next morning, we heard what happened about the army coming in and so on and so forth, and we realized what the Sheikh said was true. I remember when I went to Sheikh Muqbil, I asked Sheikh Muqbil, first of all, Jamiat Turad, he told us. And he said, if Jamiat Turad come to England, they will not leave you until they separate you, which has happened. The Sheikh talked about even the dawah in Egypt, when he was in Egypt and why he left Egypt. Even Algeria, why he left Algeria. Because why? This fitna come. And this same fitna now is coming here. It's coming here. And if we don't at least try to protect ourselves or get out of the way, we are going to be involved too. We will find ourselves like many of our Algerian brothers running all over the place. They have no home, the Salafi ones, they have no home. They go to Saudi, they run. They go to Yemen, they're always moving. Why? Because of this fitna which has come to Algeria. And the fitna which is in Egypt now. Brothers have gone there left. Why? You don't feel safe. The same thing happening in Yemen. And the same thing, and remember, we are in a kufr country. We're in a kafir country where the danger could even be worse. So if we don't stop these people, we'll find ourselves being swept away with emotions. So please, brothers, I want you to really and sisters, sit down and really try to understand where we're coming from. I myself personally, I don't want nothing from you. I don't want nothing from you. You can do nothing for me, and all I can do is warn you. If we are wrong, we ask the Mufti and his supporters, please, come and show us clearly where we are wrong. Come and show us, and we'll accept it from you.
There's a lot of questions on the issue of tazkiyah, and particularly the statements of the ulama regarding Jami'iyah Salah. This issue, the ulama have talked and explained the issue, and some of these questions were put to Shaykh Waheed bin Abdullah al-Jabri of Al-Madinah. He is one of the most senior scholars from Saudi Arabia. When we went to Medina in our first year, we asked one of our Salafi teachers who was teaching us Tawheed, we want to learn Sharh Sunnah Barbahari and the Manhaj. And he gave us an address, and we went there and we met this old man. He was blind, he lived in a shanty old house, he was very humble, and he took care of us. And his station is well known amongst everybody and all the teachers in Islamic University of Medina. He was a teacher there himself, supervising the PhDs. So what we did, we translated his answers on the issue of the topic of Jarh wa Ta'deel and issues of tazkiyat for organizations, where some scholars may say yes and some scholars say no. He brings the principles in those answers, and we translate them, and it takes up the last 8 pages of the book, which is being given out, inshallah. So I'll refer you to that article. The next question. Rahman tells me when they visited Shaykh Nasiruddin Al-Albani, they asked him specific questions on the Jami'iyah Taraf, and inshallah he said after a week the answers will be available translated. The next question. There are no scholars in this gathering. Is the statement an excuse from those who do not wish to come to this gathering because there are no scholars here today? Does everyone still have to accept the truth when it comes to them, despite it coming to them from those who are not the scholars?
The truth in reality is what comes from Allah and what comes from the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. This is the truth. Anything which they report, anything which is reported from Allah, from His Kitab, and anything which is from the Sunnah of the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, that is the truth. The truth is accepted because it is the truth. That's the reason why the truth is accepted. You don't accept the truth, you don't accept something from an individual just because it comes from a certain personality. You look at what he's saying, where is it coming from? Is what he's saying the truth, or is it falsehood? Is what he's saying coming from those who have inherited the prophets? those who have understood it in the way that it was meant to be understood. Like Imam Shafi said, that I believe in the word of Allah, I believe in the Quran, in the way that it was revealed, and in the way it was revealed, in the manner in which it was intended to be understood. And I believe in the Sunnah, or the Prophet of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and what he revealed in the manner in which it was intended to be understood. So all we have done today, time after time, and in the booklet that the brothers have gathered together and distributed, all they've relayed to you is that which is the truth. And one of the points which, since the brother mentioned what Shaykh Ubaid al-Jabri mentioned, is that with regard to these issues of the JIMAS, like Ihya Turath al-Islami, and we find that one scholar, or a few scholars, a few in number, won't speak out against them. Others will speak out against them. And the reason behind this is because those scholars who speak out against Ihya Turath is because they've studied Ihya Turath, they've researched the issue, they've come to the understanding that this group calls for nothing but hizbiyah and call for the unification. Basically, they're trying to instill Ikhwan al-Muslimin amongst the ranks of the Muslims. They're just trying to transplant it from there and bring it into the ranks of the Salafis. And this is why you find them entering into politics and entering into parliament and making ta'awun with the Shia and doing conferences with Jamaat al-Jihad upon the same platform. Those one person will be sitting there who makes takfir upon Fahad. Another one sits there, calls Bin Baz a munafiq, and they'll be sitting next to him about to deliver a lecture also. This is what they are calling to. So those scholars, those doctors of Hizbiyah, who have understood Hizbiyah, who know Hizbiyah, like I mentioned before, when we met Shaykh Abul Hasan al-Misri, Habibullah, in Medina, he said, if you want to know about Hizbiyah, go to two people, Shaykh al-Albani and Shaykh Rabi'. And these people have explained to us and brought the adillah and brought the proofs against Rahman Abdul Khaliq. Those ulama who don't speak against them, don't speak against these people, then we give them the excuse that that information hasn't reached them then. Just like you do with the madhabs. You act upon that where the evidence is found. You don't look to see whether Abu Hanifa said it, therefore I'll act upon it. If he didn't say it, I'm not going to act upon it. You're going to look for the evidences, and wherever the evidences take you, whichever imam it goes to, you will switch from madhab to madhab, from imam to imam, looking for the truth. So if a scholar says, for example, that Ihya Turath al-Islami, I know nothing of them except for good, then this is a general recommendation that he is given because, as he says, I don't know anything about them except for good. Now Shaykh Rabi' comes to you, or Shaykh Abu Anas comes to you, or Shaykh Abdul Farsi comes to you, or Shaykh Al-Anjari comes to you. Those people who know Ihya Turath better than anybody else, and Shaykh Muqbil, expert upon the antics of Ihya Turath, they come to you and say, Ihya Turath did this. On such and such a date, they took money from the Shia. On such and such a date, they made dua for the Shia. And myself, Abu Talha, Abu Sufyan, Abdur Razak was there. I remember we saw a letter from Ihya Turath al-Islami sent to a Shia. May Allah accept your dua. You are a noble family. Thank you for your donation. We want your donation. You know what and even then they hadn't given them a donation. They wanted some broken down computer from them. Making a dua for them. Another article from the newspaper where the representatives of Ihya Turath were having a conference with some of Jamaat al-Jihad and the Shia, one of those two groups, and they were talking about non-smoking in Al-Islam or something like this. Remember that? Non-smoking in Al-Islam. That Islam forbids smoking. Coming together upon this. So when those ulama bring us those adillah, those proofs, those clear evidences where they have departed from the manhaj, are you still going to follow the scholar who says, I know nothing of them except for good? He doesn't know anything of them except for good. But you know something evil of them. You know something evil from them. You know that they cooperate with the Rafida, Shia, the enemies of the companions. You know that they cooperate with those people who swear at the hukam, who revile the rulers from the mimbar and call for revolution and call for bombings in Saudi Arabia and other places like this. You know they do this. You know they cooperate with groups like this. You know that Ihya Turath al-Islami, their closest allies in Kuwait are the Ikhwan al-Muslimin. This is why any time you see anything from them In Kuwait, you find them that they are the enemies of the Salafis, like they are the enemies of Sheikh Fala Ismail. They are the enemies of Sheikh Abu Anas. They are the enemies of the well-known Salafis in Kuwait. This is what we know of them. So if you know this, and some ulama don't know this, are you going to say, no, I'm going to ignore all that, and I'm going to make taqleed of that scholar? Is that what you're going to do? And why did you become Salafi? Why did you become Salafi? Was it because your best friend was a Salafi? Or the sister wouldn't marry you unless you were a Salafi? Is that why you became Salafi? I became Salafi because I knew that this was the haqq. And I knew that this was the only path of the Firqatul Najiyah. I knew that this was the only path to Taifatul Mansura, the only way. This is why I became Salafi. So if we are looking for proofs, then here's the proofs. Go and see what Shaykh Rabi says about them. He knows we have seen them plotting assassinations. Plotting assassinations. Why? For the cause of their hizbiyah, so their name becomes high. They don't build a well anywhere in Africa except that they put their big sign on top of it. Donated by Jam'iyah, Ihya Turat al-Islami. Don't you poor beggars forget it. Huh? Is this not hizbiyah? What's this? You give with your right hand that your left hand doesn't even know. They go to the students in Medina, miskeen brothers, who have got their wives living in this country, worrying about their wives, no money to live on over there. Ihya Turat come to them and say, we'll give you $800 a month. All you gotta do is, when you come back to England, you work for us during the summer. And you translate for us, and you come to our office, and you go around the country under the banner of Jam'iyah Ihya Turat al-Islami. This isn't the way, this is not the way. So therefore we remember that what we are looking for is the haqq, regardless of who it comes from. As long as it's established without a shadow of a doubt that this is the truth, without a shadow of a doubt, and with Ihya Turat it is, don't look so much towards the differences of the ulama upon this, because rest assured that when Shaykh Ibn Baz was still not speaking out against Safar and Salman, that the scholars in Medina had already started refuting them and finishing them up time after day after day after day. They were finishing them. But as soon as the information reached Shaykh Ibn Baz and Shaykh Ibn Taymiyyah about the evil and the takfir nature of Salman al-Awda and Safar Hawali, may Allah guide them both, that when it reached Ibn Baz and Ibn Taymiyyah about the true nature of these people, did they say, no, we're not going to speak out against them? As soon as they found out, they said, khalas, these people are out. This is the nature of reality. So if this is the way of the ulama, and all of you read the blind following of the madhabs, go back and read it again. We follow the haqq wherever it lies, as long as we know it's the haqq. Go and read it again, because if you weren't going to make taqleed of Imam Ahmad, or Malik, or Shafi, then don't choose anyone in this time and this period to make taqleed of. We don't make taqleed of Shaykh Rabi. We don't make taqleed of Shaykh Muqbil. We don't make taqleed of Shaykh Albani. We follow them where they give us the proofs. The only reason I accepted this information from Shaykh Al-Anjari and Shaykh Abu Anas was because when Shaykh Al-Anjari came last winter, he brought a pile of papers. And Abu Sufyan, Abu Talha, myself, Abdur Razak, and there was one other brother, I can't remember who it was, or the Abdul Qadir, one of the other brothers, Amr it was Amr. We were sitting there and time after time he said, see, here it is, fresh cutting of the newspaper from Ihya Turat. Another letter from Ihya Turat, a fax that they sent. Something else they sent, time after time. So what are we supposed to do? Close our eyes and close our ears? And ignore all of this? Is that what you want us to do? Because if they put this information, if those Ihya Turat went to Shaykh Ibn Baz, and they told him the truth, and they told him, actually, Ya Shaykh, we do make some, limited ta'awun with the Shia. And we do no smoking conferences with the Rafida Shia. This is what we do as well. And then tell me that their praise of them, or that their general remaining silent about Ihya Turat will continue. That the ulama don't attribute this evil to the ulama, that they know of the evil but they don't speak. The ulama aren't like this.
As for the tazkiyat from the Kibar ulama, particularly with Shaykh Rabi bin Hadi, I think our brother Abu Khadijah mentioned the statement of Shaykh Nasiruddin al-Albani, where he said Shaykh Rabi is the Imam of Jarh wa Ta'dil. And this is no small statement. To say somebody's an imam means somebody who's a leader. And the subject of Jarh wa Ta'deel, criticizing and weighing up narrators, Shaykh Rabi, he's the imam of that field. And this is from the muhaddith of this era, Shaykh Nasiruddin Al-Albani. What I'd like to mention that these tazkiyat are not just verbally said to other people or written on paper. I remember 2-3 years ago there was a conference in Jeddah. There's a conference on stage where Shaykh Rabi bin Hadi and Shaykh Salih bin Al-Uthaymeen. And the questions were coming to them, one to Shaykh Rabi, then to Shaykh Al-Uthaymeen, then to Shaykh Rabi, then to Ibn Uthaymeen. A question came to Ibn Uthaymeen on the Sayyid Qutb. They wanted to know who Sayyid Qutb was. And then Shaykh Ibn Uthaymeen, he said, on this man, I haven't read much about him. I refer you to the book written by the brother Abdullah Zawaish, and my brother here, Shaykh Rabi, he will answer the question. Now can you see the wisdom behind Ibn Uthaymeen referring him to Shaykh Rabi? Because he knew that Shaykh Rabi is more read and he did more research on this issue. And Shaykh Rabi was not on the conference table with Shaykh Ibn Uthaymeen for no reason. In Saudi Arabia, he's regarded as one of the senior and kibar scholars as well. And there was a question on a brother called Abu Hanifa. I can say that I advise you to refer to brother Abdur Razak Sanani there for some issue on this.
Yeah.
Stage actor, take it from me, you don't know him, he was acting in Muntada. Wallah, he was on the stage acting many times in Muntada. He was doing acting.
As for there's a question on Brother Hashim, I refer you to speak to Abdul Qadir here, inshallah, after that. Unfortunately, brothers, we'll have to end the conference. We're supposed to finish at 7, but Jazakallah khair, the brother in charge, he let us carry on. And but before we finish, Abdul Qadir will just say the last few words.
Jazakumullah khair for sitting and being patient with us. It's a very long. نعم يا اخوان اصبر شوي دقيقة أخي اصبر شوي
In the interval, one of the brothers reminded me that in the speed with which I speak, sometimes I say words which, or sentences which don't fully complete. And he says that I mentioned something like that what these groups intend is to destroy the dawah. And therefore, they intend, what's the matter of wording? Intention, that here, I'm not here to question anybody's intention. And none of the brothers here are here to open up the hearts of people and to check what is inside the hearts of people. So therefore, I want to make that clear, that no one here is opening up the hearts of anybody and looking into the hearts and saying, right, this man is a munafiq, or this man wants to destroy Islam. But rather what we are acting upon is what they display to us and what they show us. And we can only act upon what they display to us and what they show us. And some of what they display to us and what they show us is from the attributes of nifaq. Is from the attributes of nifaq. As the Prophet ﷺ mentioned, some of the characteristics of the person of nifaq. That he breaks contracts, for example. He breaks contracts, for example. And other things that when he speaks, he lies and so on and so forth. When he gets into something, all he wants to do is argue and argue and argue for useless, for no reason whatsoever. So therefore, I want to clarify that in my earlier talk, if I said something about questioning people's hearts, then we are not here to open up the bellies, nor are we here to split open the hearts. For what we act upon is what they display to us. And this is what we have responded to. So Allah knows best.
As I was saying, alhamdulillah, Jazakumullah khair for being very patient with us. It was a very long day today, and Jazakumullah khair for not listening to the advice of those who
wish to corrupt a dawah salafiyah or confuse it and come in here for clarification, and we apologize for not being able to get through all these questions, and there was too many. Finally, I'd like to say to you all, just remind you again, وَاعْتَصِمُوا بِحَبْلِ اللَّهِ جَمِيعًا. Hold fast to the rope of Allah, all of you together. We are all brothers in the same cause, inshaAllah ta'ala. Spreading of our dawah salafiyah. All of us are together on the same battlefield against Ahlul Bid'ah and Ahlul Hawa. There's no time for us to busy ourselves too much with refuting this one and refuting that one. The ulama have made it clear for us, what we've done today, please understand, remember this, the ulama, the things that we've done today is just transmission, knuckle. We just transmit the information from ulama. Nobody today gave his opinion about any one individual. Is that clear? And I hope inshallah ta'ala you take this information and you act upon it and you side with your brother Salafis and you support your brother Salafis. You go back to your hometown and you spread this dawah Salafi. You listen to the tapes of the ulama of the Salafi Aqidah, and the ones of the tapes who we used to listen to of old, put them aside, record over them. And do not bother yourself too much now going home and talking about, oh, we heard about this one and about this one and about that one. Concentrate also on your ibadah, your worship of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Turn to Him, pray your tahajjud, and inshallah you'll see how a lot of things will become clear for you. Worship your Creator. Because indeed, remember death, and death is just around the corner. We've heard a lot about clarification of the manhaj and those who hold the manhaj. You could go home, have a car accident. May Allah preserve me and all of you from that. However, ikhwan, remember Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Remember you're standing before Him, and watch your tongue. Do not go away and start ringing up people and saying to them, oh, so-and-so. You know, one sister rings another sister. You better check out your husband. Is he Salafi? Is he not Salafi? Actually, none of this. Watch what you say to your sister, to your wives. And another brother going over to another brother. Actually, you should be married to that sister because he's Salafi, you're not Salafi. Ikhwan, this is fitna. It can be a fitna if it's misused. Use the information correctly. And if you use the information correctly, we won't get people coming down here and giving empty words trying to damage this dawah Salafi, inshallah ta'ala. So that's my last advice. Jazakumullah khairan.
Just last two announcements. One is about the magazine Invitation to Islam. We would like to ask your brothers if you could kind enough to donate towards this magazine, which we give out free. If you'd like to contribute, there's a box in the back at the bookstore. You can put your money there. And Abu Sufyan wants to say something about our school.
I know we've been sitting here a long time, but don't, at least get the last piece. The last piece. I just wanted to make an announcement about the school project. But before we go home, and I don't want to take much of your time anyway, before you go home, I'd like to ask some questions. The brothers who came here with some doubts, okay? The brothers who came here with some doubts, are there any brothers, because I can't see the sisters, are there any brothers who came here with doubts? Everybody came here firm. Okay, that's good. So we wasted our time. We're hoping to find some brothers with doubt. Okay, the brothers who are going home, are there any brothers going home and they're confused? Everybody. So just raise your hand if you're confused. If you're going home now confused about the whole thing, then just raise your hand. Okay, put your hand down. Let's do it another way. All the brothers who are not confused, because if you don't raise your hand, it means that you're confused. All the brothers who are not confused now, raise your hand. So some brothers are confused if they're confused. So the brothers who are not confused, you're okay. Right, so there's a few brothers who's confused. Okay. If those brothers are confused, then what we can advise you is stick around and try, even outside, and try ask the question which is causing you confusion, and inshallah we can try to clear it up for you, inshallah. Or if you can't stick around, then I suggest to you, read this. It's from the ulama, it's what the ulama are saying, so you can read it and remove your doubt. But remember, the Prophet said, I have left you upon a way, it's clear, it's night, it's like it's day, and no one is misguided except that he is destroyed. And no one can be misguided except that he wants to be misguided. Okay, after that, brothers, please remain seated. One of the projects that we want to start, that we are starting inshallah, is a school, a Quran school, or Islamic school in Morocco, Marrakesh, Morocco, or Marrakesh, Al-Maghrib. And you know, these things take money. We think they take money, as we haven't got no big backers like Jamiat Tarat or whatever. So, what we need, we have some bank mandate statements that we would like brothers and sisters to just fill in, that you can pay a certain amount a month. We can have £5, you can have £10 a month, direct debit from your bank account, inshallah, that will help in this way. This will be sadaqah jariyah, because one of the problems that we find, especially among revert Muslims, and we find among the Muslims in this country, they don't have the Arabic language, they can't recite the book of Allah, and therefore they cannot teach their children adequately to recite the book of Allah and the Arabic language. And alhamdulillah, anyone who has children, if your child speaks Arabic and you hear him speak Arabic, you feel a glow in your heart for sure. I mean, one of my boys just been in Saudi for 1 year illegally, but alhamdulillah he came out, and even when he is speaking Arabic, I feel good when I hear him speaking Arabic. Even the Quran that he's reciting is so much better and is much more clearer with the Arabic tongue that he's reciting the Quran with Arabic. So this is a great treasure for us. It's also sadaqah jariyah. When you donate this money, it's money that inshallah, that if a child was to go there and become a hafiz of Quran, you will get some of the reward of that. And of course, remember the hadith of the Prophet ﷺ, that your wealth does not decrease with charity. Nobody's wealth will decrease with charity. And also, when a person dies, only 3 things will benefit him in the grave. One of them is the sadaqah jariyah, the sadaqah that he gave, and this sadaqah keep recurring, and so on and so forth. So please, inshallah, don't be tight and stingy. Your money will be utilized very well. So just get one of those bank mandates, fill it up, inshallah, and give it to the brother at the back there, or send it to the address. Jazakumullah khairah. So, inshallah, I think there's one last announcement, so please remain.
Is there anybody that wants to know about Abu Hanifa of Islam? Abdul as-Sanani is ready and waiting to explain anything you need to know about him. Ahlan bikum.
About the backbiting thing. I was emailing someone telling me to come here, and he said that don't go because all the backbiting on.
Right.
And
how does he know? Does he know the future?
Anyway, I know he's going to say to me like, you people over here, you are not sure. So what gives you the right to actually do this sort of what you are doing?
We're speaking from ourselves. There's no point in being here.
Yeah.
The brothers are transmitting from the scholars. You have to take, you accept from the scholars. Unless this brother is himself going to go over to the scholars, go around these different scholars we mentioned here. He's going to visit Sheikh Rabi, Sheikh McDowell, Sheikh Albani, Sheikh all these Sheikhs, Sheikh Ubaid al-Jabiri. She's not going to do. What's wrong with coming here?
And the other one was that he mentioned the teleconference.
If he doesn't want to come here, nobody can force him. He wants to stay away, let him stay away. But what the brothers are reading was from the scholars. If he doesn't like it, then it's his problem.
He also mentioned that with regards to Jazaree, he told me to go and listen to the teleconference by Sheikh bin Baz in December at Dar al-Ifta. Do you know anything about this tape? About what he said, about what Sheikh...
When they asked him and they said, oh, can you tell us about Hijrah? They just do good work and they link up and whatever. What do you say? He said, oh, I don't know what to say. I know them to be... What did he say? He gave them a general recommendation. Oh, I don't know anything but good about them. That's what he said. I don't know anything but good about them. Something like that. Whereas we know more than that. Because we've heard from Sheikh Rabi, we've heard from Sheikh Muqbil, we've heard from the scholars of Kuwait. Yeah. So, Assalamu warahmatullah. Alhamdulillah bikhair. وإياكم كيف حالكم؟ Mubarak. So I love the Sheikh bin Baz. It doesn't mean that if he keeps quiet about a matter or doesn't know about a particular matter or hasn't been informed about a particular matter, we reject every other scholar, what every other scholar says until Sheikh bin Baz says the same. Likewise about the Jamaat al-Tabligh. Does anybody seriously doubt, anybody who claims to be a Salafi, does he doubt about the deviation of Jamaat al-Tabligh? For how many years in this country have we known about that deviation? The people are shirk, the people are bid'ah, and it's been clear. But Sheikh bin Baz, till quite fairly last couple of years, he says people of knowledge can go with them and advise them and benefit them. And what did he say just about 2 years ago? These are people who are with innovation and with shirk. Stay away from them. So likewise with regard, as his student Muhammad ibn Hadi said, likewise with regard to Ihya Taraf, he will speak about them inshallah. When the time is right and when he's properly informed, when he knows, when he is sure about them, when he is sure about the matter, he will speak inshallah.